is that what they call you? Only now, after the fall of the Empire, the Great War, do the gods decide to send us their hero. All of Tamriel waged war after bloody war for 2 centuries. Incalculable amounts of young and old lost, yet the gods turned a blind eye. But when lust was rank when serenity and old purity aspired to expose the stark reality, they decried it as obscene. She was right. We have no choice in the matter. Your final objective stands before you, ready to die for her heresy. I am Matriarch Virgile of Project Purity, first Golden Maiden of Matari.
First Golden Maiden? I think I need more light. Which is ridiculous. We have some kind of lag. Okay.
You would listen to my final words.
You're a golden maiden.
Now, do you understand what this has been about ever since the first attack on Jonestead? There was never meant to be a war between sirens and purity. Why would there be? This has been a game whose both sides were controlled by the same player. A woman I once served and swore an oath to obey. The one you now call both your enemy and mistress, without understanding why.
Atari.
It always begins with a woman and a lie. Selene the First, an Altmer noble, the founder of Project Purity and mastermind behind Eurosap, unknowingly slain by Martin Septim's champion. Istis, an Ashen warlord who brought her people to the brink of freedom, only to betray them to their Saesi masters so they may remain slaves left in want. Selene II, another Ashen, and the provocateur of the Purity Pinder War that drove both sides to ruin on a quest for vengeance. At last, Matari, the savior we have all been looking for to deliver us from a life of agony she manufactured under different personas.
Why?
To build an army.
An army?
This world is our arena, and our men will wage wars over trivialities for eternity, on behalf of the gods and kings that neglected them to begin with. They will die in conflicts that will endure millennia, spanning across eras under different monikers. It will be this way until the end of time, until all that's left is silence. But if someone were to escape their cage and rise above prophecy and destiny, they will become something more than a mortal, more than a god. They will be alive.
Alive, eh?
It was a trickster that created Mundus, and it shall be a trickster that destroys it. From the remains a new world will be born, one not designed to suffer the horrors of even the most mundane lives. It would be an end to sorrow. Peace would be in abundance. At last, we would all be free.
Why choose war?
It's the only viable solution. Long ago, She believed rejecting the will of the gods would entail the destruction of their reality. Lust would have governed the land rather than war. Life would have continued its course of degradation all the same, but towards the opposite side of the spectrum. Eventually, men, in their infinite pursuits fueled by greed, would have repressed their memories of a life in which every day was to be cherished. And the meaning of excess was a foreign concept. The names of divinity abandoned, morality a broken chain, a diseased world left to be molded into something greater by the will of its new god.
How will acts of violence lead to a different outcome?
It is the natural order. She detests war as much as she loathes the rampant fornication stimulated by her creations.
The Golden Maidens?
Among other abominations. To limit yourself to an ideal would be arrogant, and her mind values logic and reason over integrity. She uses war as a means to end all war. The very thing championed by gods will be turned against them, while still adhering to their sacred visions of the future. Her sirens would systematically dismantle the towers of royalty by song and bloodshed. For as many years as it would take, states and institutions would fall in a rapid succession that outpaces the recovery. It's a fate that will befall us, with or without her presence, as soothsayers, war poets, and the Elder Scrolls declare in usual ambiguous fashion. That certainty is a loophole to be exploited, and she substitutes key components of the end times so that it may arrive by her will. If the world dies by her will, it shall be reborn with her as its creator.
You favor that idea, but you still haven't said why you betrayed your mistress.
Because she's a liar. You of all people must have heard its echoes in the void. Calling it a soul would be understating its magnificence, but it's the only word in our language that comes closest to describing it. Matari and all the avatars that preceded her answer to the raw source of knowledge and power that is imprisoned in the darkness. Salaquine. Salaquine cannot be defined by a dichotomy of benevolence. She's compelled by an intense primal instinct to have her physical and incorporeal states reunited. Her detainment is administered by the same forces that can only be undone through destruction. Whether her disciples ascend to the higher plane or are rewarded with paradise is peripheral. Salaquine will resort to any measure to secure victory, even if it means sacrificing us all. I refused to allow that possibility. I chose purity.
You would have used the hist toxin?
The hist would have proven to be a much cleaner effort than a war, but she abandoned it in favor of the sirens, for reasons I don't understand. When all had died under its thick veil, we would assume the throne of creation and conjure an existence determined by the many.
What happens now?
I leave our fates to Matari and pray for her triumph to be swift.
You'd rather have her succeed in your stead?
Exactly.
I'm gonna stop her.
After all I've said, you still don't understand.
I'm not giving in.
The audacity you have is infuriating, but I cannot hate you. To blame you for a fault that is not willingly your own, one that is part of your inherent design, is unjust. Salacrine knows this. Thousands of years walking amongst mortals in the form of avatars, learning their strengths, their deficiencies, has made her aware of the mechanisms that threaten her ascension. She is not the reckless adversary of songs and legends who fall without effort. She knows you better than you know yourself, hero. She will break you. I've said enough. Kill me and go. Go and murder your mistress. Her death will grant you passage to Sky's Divide.
My blade won't pass through her like a spirit?
Not anymore.
Okay.
If you have lingering questions, ask them now.
Leave, Virgile. I do not wish to kill you.
Don't be ridiculous. Mistress Matari would not be pleased with either of us.
Nevertheless, leave.
I can't believe you're doing this. The exit is reopened. Leave. You and any allies that remain in innocence will be teleported back to the surface. I'll leave.
Okay.
What will I do?
Live.
I'm finally going home.
Is it over?
Project Purity is no more.
Haha! You're one of a kind, Commander. The sisters back at the palace will be jumping for joy. Can't believe it. One warrior taking down all of Purity from within. Ah, the tales we'll weave out of this one. Now our work begins.
Really?
Map of Innocence. Snagged it from a Purity agent a while back, but it got lost in the shuffle. A real kick in the stomach for you, I bet. Ah, probably didn't need it anyway. Mistress Matari wants us to secure the stronghold. We've got to clean up any remnant agents and then take care of the hissed weapon.
You have Lilith?
Lilith gave us a brilliant idea. Know what she said? Have her deal with the hissed. Yeah, so the deal is, she goes in there, lugs each one to the main lift, rinse and repeat. Something so volatile ought to be handled by a traitor, right?
Why do you want to preserve the hist?
Never hurts to have some extra arsenal in our back pockets. don't know where it would have gone. All we were told was to take it to the Great Lift down in the Purity Work Facility. The tunnel network that's connected to opens up at the coastline. Maybe Cordinali? Whatever, not my business.
There's something you should know about Matari.
I can't believe it.
It's true.
I can't believe that you, of all people, would say that about Mistress Matari. About the woman that saved us all.
Really?
Wait a minute. You defeated Purity. Alone. No. I'll be damned. I knew you were in on it. Sirens, we have a traitor to put down.
Time to die.
Okay. My friends are here. What did that message say? Oh shit. Okay.
You will die.
I don't think I'm even needed here.
Easy.
Can we stop by?
Daikatana.
To rest?
A dragon? No, I am a chicken.
It's a heavy weapon. I have to give Cash's weapon back to her. Okay, there's Lilith. Hello, Lilith.
You didn't have to do that. I convinced them to keep me alive so I could help them. The moment I had the chance, I'd have done the same. Thank you.
I gotta kill Matari.
I know. We'll leave for the Divide right away.
I gotta kill her before that. Then we'll go.
Something happened down there with Purity. What they said, do you believe them?
I do.
There's something different. Meet me in Dawnstar. I'll be there trying to procure a ship, while you deal with Matari.
So, are you ready to see?
If they're not urgent, save them for later. There's a better place for us to talk than up here with the dead sirens laying around. You know what you're doing. If killing Matari now, somehow, at the palace is mandatory, then I believe you.
Okay.
Good. I mean... Dragonborn. No need for ranks now that we've gone rogue. Promise me that if it comes down to saving my life again, or stopping Matari, you won't let emotions get in the way. The mission comes first. One person is nothing compared to what's at stake.
It's a promise I can't keep.
Then pray we don't find ourselves in that sort of circumstance. May the Divines guide you to victory.
You know, I really do love Skyrim, in spite of
Billy hasn't turned up yet. Better give her a whistle. With magic. I don't know if you actually have a whistle. Right.
You know, sometimes it really irritates me that you never ask for my opinion. For instance, when did you last ask me what I thought we should do next?
What should we do next?
How about going for a ride? It doesn't really matter where to. I just feel that I have spent too little time with my horse Bruiser lately. It's very cold. I think a hug will make me feel a lot warmer.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, of course.
When we stop to rest, I think I should practice my one-handed skills.
I don't know how comfy a hug is while we're wearing armor. Anyway. Rain. Erica. We could ride our horses all the way back. Oh, we're going to leave the vicinity.
Mr. Dragonfly says his wings are getting cold. Well, flap them faster, Mr. Dragonfly.
We're on the mountain. We're on the 7,000 steps. I'm not sure. We didn't go in from here. Did we come out there?
What was that?
It's this frost troll.
You will be so dead.
He's not so tough when you got followers and you're level 63. Okay. End of purity completed. Started defiance.